Fighting out of Danbury, Connecticut, USA by way of Sao Paulo, Brazil, here is Alex Pereira.
He was living in the shantytowns of Brazil, struggling with alcoholism and facing a dead-end life. But the hard streets couldn't break him. Addiction couldn't stop him. This is the unbelievable rise of an indigenous warrior who risked it all to seize glory inside the cage. 3 riveting battles that defined the middleweight division, and a left-hand detonator that shook martial arts to its core. What's going on, MMA maniacs? In this video, we're diving deep into Alex's remarkable journey. From impoverished beginnings struggling with alcoholism to multi-division kickboxing greatness to recently dethroning Israel Adesanya to capture the UFC middleweight crown. You do not want to miss how this wrecking ball rose to the top. So without further ado, let's get started. Our story begins far from any glitz or glamour. Young Alex growing up dirt poor within the harsh Brazilian favela slums of Santo Bernardo do Campo during the 90s and early 2000s. Surviving day to day was an immense struggle out of the gate. Unable to afford education beyond 12 years old, Alex worked long, grueling hours at a local tire shop instead. Mixing with older menial laborers, an impressionable Alex soon faced immense peer pressure into binge drinking daily after shifts. Before long, his alcohol addiction was out of control, chugging entire bottles of rum plus beers swiftly just to cope. This seemed like Alex's tragic fate, spiraling towards drunkenness, crime, or early death like countless favela youth similarly stripped of opportunities. The outlook was bleak until a fateful decision to visit a nearby combat sports gym altered everything. Alex found solace from the stresses of poverty while learning his natural punching power translated terrifically into kickboxing. The discipline of training gave him confidence and an identity rooted in his indigenous pod exo warrior ancestry. But escaping the entanglements of addiction came not easily. Alex endured a tumultuous tug-of-war campaign against alcoholism spanning the first decade of his combat sports journey. Though flashes of brilliance did emerge like his 2014 Glory middleweight contender tournament triumph, punctuated by a skull-cracking KO of touted American striker Dustin Jacoby. After much stumbling, Alex finally achieved lasting sobriety in his mid-20s, able to fully apply himself towards honing his lethal striking repertoire without distraction. This breakthrough unlocked the full ferocious potential within the man now feared as Poatan. Alex spent the back half of his kickboxing tenure on an unprecedented rampage atop the middleweight and light heavyweight divisions, defeating feared names like Simon Marcus, Jason Wilness, and future MMA phenom Israel Adesanya twice. This was an early sign of Pereira's incredible punching power, especially his left hand, but he was still an unknown compared to the established Jacoby. Let's fast forward to 2016 for Pereira's first iconic matchup against Israel Adesanya. At the time, Adesanya was an elite kickboxer transitioning into MMA. Before joining the UFC, Adesanya racked up over 70 wins in kickboxing, capturing titles across China and New Zealand. Meanwhile, Pereira only had 13 pro kickboxing fights under his belt, but he managed to defeat the heavy favorite Adesanya by unanimous decision in a brutal 3-round war. This launched Pereira into the spotlight, while Adesanya rebounded to win 7 straight fights. He even defeated UFC legend Anderson Silva before transitioning full-time into MMA. In 2017, the two rivals battled again in front of Pereira's hometown crowd in Brazil. Early on, Adesanya was getting the better of the exchanges and clearly winning. But in the 3rd round, Pereira mounted an incredible comeback. He landed a thundering uppercut that rendered Adesanya unconscious, handing him his first ever KO loss. After struggling early, Alex uncorked a monstrous 3rd round uppercut that severed Adesanya's consciousness in an instant. This crushing KO handed Israel his first ever kickboxing knockout loss, serving emphatic notice to the combat sports world of the stone-fisted Brazilian's truly fight-altering power. More championship glory followed, Alex capturing Glory's middleweight crown in 2017 and then becoming their inaugural simultaneous 2-division king 2 years later. When the dust settled on his 2021 retirement, Poatan had carved his name into kickboxing lore with a magnificent 33-7 pro record and an astounding 24 knockouts. There was only one platform remaining to conquer, the UFC's middleweight division. Eager to cement his cross-sport greatness, Alex net set his sights on conquering MMA's 185-pound ranks, despite starting his cage career late and losing his 2016 debut by submission. Over the next few years between kickboxing matches, Poatan aggressively developed his offensive wrestling and jiu-jitsu at Brazil's renowned X-Gym, home to legends like Anderson Silva and BJJ icon Rafael Lovato Jr. This intense tutelage paid immense dividends. Alex began decimating regional scene standouts in 2020, his sinistral finishing power transitioning seamlessly into 4-ounce gloves. Dominant wins punching his ticket to the UFC as a menacing 34-year-old prospect, boasting truly elite kickboxing credentials and ever-improving grappling technique caught Dana White's eye. The promotion fast-tracked Poatan, sensing his power paired with defensive wrestling competence could trouble anyone. The great middleweight title experiment was on. 3 emphatic wins on MMA's biggest stage, including a viral slam KO of Sean Strickland, earned Alex the next championship opportunity opposite his bitter rival Adesanya. Their storied rivalry had now amazingly transcended across 2 sports, countless verbal barbs and years since their violent kickboxing collisions. But the combat gods craved closure, a final trilogy chapter with UFC gold and divisional dominance hanging in the balance. UFC 281's showdown began as expected, a high-energy kickboxing classic with both men finding moments of success. But halting Adesanya's previously unstoppable 11-fight middleweight reign required Alex to fight nearly perfectly. The first 3 rounds were perilously close, with razor-thin striking exchanges. Heading to the final frames, Poatan needed to dig deep, and midway through the 5th, the opportunity came calling. Thudding a wrenching jab straight right combo, Alex cracked the iron-jawed Adesanya's defenses. Then for the 3rd time in their epic rivalry, he uncorked the sinister left hook that had twice eluded Israel previously. A desperate Adesanya reeled backwards as Alex rushed in to officially finish their trilogy saga, forcing the referee to intervene just as he had that fateful 2017 glory match. Their epic trilogy is now complete, with Alex emerging supremely as UFC's newly crowned undisputed king of the 185-pound empire. Ladies and gents, the incredible story of Alex Poatan Pereira achieving greatness through the power of second chances and unrelenting belief in himself. From Brazil's unforgiving favela streets to drunk and directionless, to legendary kickboxing icon and now currently reigning atop the UFC middleweight division, Alex's journey embodies martial arts' capacity to provide focus, meaning, and community, no matter one's origins. His ascent to the pinnacle of MMA is nothing short of remarkable given the depths where he began. Much love and respect for the harrowing path Alex walked to make his warrior dreams a reality. That fortitude saw him defeat seemingly impossible adversity both in the ring and through his own inner demons en route to the UFC title. What an inspiration and welcome addition to MMA's elite. Well guys, that wraps up this incredibly special documentary on Alex Pereira's journey to the top. Let me know which part of Alex's story resonated most in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon for updates. Until next time, see you on the flip side.